video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to upgrade your vibrational set point so that you create from a much higher paradigm. I'm going to give you tools, things to do, and things not to do that'll make all the difference in helping you to create from that new place. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you those ways that you can upgrade your vibrational set point to create from that higher point of view. Now with this process, the thing that is important to understand is just vibration in general. Now it is that we get a reflection of what we believe to be true, but it's also the energy underneath the how we are going about manifesting what we want. Now there are different paradigms for manifesting as well. Now under one paradigm, this is a paradigm that I use, that most people use at a certain point in their life, and it does get results, but it gets results in a very resistant way. So this is the, I am here, my goals are here, I'm going to take a lot of action to get here. Now it's a paradigm that works. However, it's a paradigm that if you don't align with high energy, with a high vibration, you will keep creating resistance and keep having to try so hard. So this is where a lot of people get stuck. I know even for me, you know, I went doing daily videos on YouTube. I got great results and I enjoyed and I loved the process. However, there were times I was creating too much rigidity and too much resistance, and that paradigm would work, but it wouldn't work efficiently. So what I'm saying is there are better ways to do this, and there are more higher vibrational states of consciousness that when you create from will change the whole paradigm. So the key then is the energy from which it comes from. So normally we have the energy of, this is where I am, I want to be over here because over here isn't as desirable, it isn't good enough. And when we have that, we create resistance, and that's where we create blocks in our experience. Another part of that I want to mention as well, and I've mentioned it many times before, but it's understanding our self-image. If we're creating it from a self-image that says that's not who I am over there, we continue to create resistance. But what I did is I'm like, okay, I'm going to see myself, and I am a full-time YouTuber. This is when I was creating one video a week. This is when I was working at Barney's New York in women's shoes, and I worked there for years. And I just said, okay, I'm going to start to live as if I am already a full-time YouTuber. Well, what would a full-time YouTuber do? In my perception of it, I was like, a full-time YouTuber would create videos every day. That's just what I thought. So I said, okay, I'm going to create a video every single day, no matter what. I think that will change my life the most over the course of the next year. So that's what I did. But I lived as if I was already here versus being here and trying to get here. And as I had that state of that self-image too, I wasn't like meekly like, oh, am I good enough? And I started to create it in the present moment. I started to resonate with it, and that's where everything began to change. Now also, I felt the emotion of passion, which is also an important part of the process. But I'll talk about that more when it comes to raising our vibration in a minute. So that's one paradigm. That's a paradigm that can work, but it brings a lot of resistance. And many times people take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Or sometimes 1 step forward and 2 steps back. So it's about just being aware of how you feel underneath what you're doing. And that's why they say it's always so important to align your emotion to it. So to create from a higher vibrational state of being, you have to be aware of your emotion and how you can feel the emotions over here, right here and right now. By realizing that what is over here is nothing more than something we give ourselves permission to feel because of the emotion we think we will get from it. But in the present moment right now, there are parts of that emotion that we can feel right now. Let me give you an example. You want more money? Guess what? What does money mean to you? Maybe it means freedom. Maybe it means security. Right now, you can feel freedom and secure if you learn how to focus on those things. Now remember this when it comes to vibration. Whatever you focus on is what you feel. So be aware of what you're focusing on. And if you're focusing on perspectives that don't serve you, that will bring your vibration down. So I remember years ago, and I've talked about this before as well, but it was an experience that totally transformed my life. I began to meditate. I began to observe my thoughts. I began to disassociate from the reactive mind. And this is what happened. Within 2 weeks of meditating, I would say that before that, my vibrational set point, out of 1 out of 10, 10 feeling amazing, 1 feeling whatever, like not so great, I was at about a 4 to 5. That's where I was. Wasn't feeling that great, wasn't feeling that bad. What happened is I learned meditation, I learned how to observe my thoughts, I learned how to disassociate from the story that I tell myself, I learned how to more so focus in a powerful way. My vibrational set point went from that 4 or 5 to about a 7 or 8. I literally felt high all of the time. And I thought it was going to go away. I was like, oh, this is a really great feeling. I hope it's going to go away. It sucks because I really enjoyed this feeling. But guess what? It never went away. It became my natural set point. And now that 7 or 8 is just my natural set point, so it's not that crazy to me. And now I have peaks going more so towards 9, 10, and if I have a bad day, it's more like a 6 or a 7. But my natural set point has risen because I learned how to observe my thoughts rather than react to them. And when you learn how to observe your thoughts rather than react, you let go of all the lower negative emotions. Those lower negative emotions, and I've shared that chart before as well, which is shame, fear, guilt, anger. You eventually move up to neutrality, then willingness, and then love, and all the higher emotions. Well, neutrality will let go of all the lower emotions. Neutrality is the stories we tell ourselves are ingrained with these emotions. Neutrality is the ability to observe from a neutral place. That's where meditation comes in. And when I did that, I raised my vibrational set point so much that from that point going forward, things in my life were so much easier to create. Even now, sometimes I go through where I'm really focused on business stuff, and it gets to a point to where it's like I start to feel resistance, and I know that if I go and do something else and I meditate or I create some space, I'll go back to that thing and I'll get it done very quickly. Even technical issues like on a website, can't figure it out, resistance. I go create space, I go meditate, raise my vibration, come back, solution, like that. That's how powerful meditation can be. Meditation is one of the most powerful ways to raise your vibration because it is the most powerful way to release resistance. And your vibration is naturally very high. And if you feel like it's not, it's simply because there's attachments to lower states of being. This is when you become aware of how you feel with what you're thinking. Become aware of how you identify and attach to your thoughts. Because when you do that, you start to take your power back. Because then you can consciously decide and say, I don't prefer to have this in my life anymore. I don't prefer to even identify with it. And as you change that, guess what? You take your power back to your higher vibrational state of being. That's what I want you to understand today. Your natural set point, who you really are, is a high vibrational state. Anytime you feel less than that, it's because you are focusing on a perspective that doesn't serve. Maybe even subconsciously. Or it's because you're being attached to some things that you're thinking. Sometimes there's habitual thoughts that are ingrained with those lower emotions, like little thought loops. So when you let go and you start to say, wait, that's not who I am. I can observe those thoughts, but those aren't me. You start to take your power back and you start to become more who you are again. This is why the feeling of excitement, that emotion, anytime you feel excited to do something, that emotion is your body's translation that's telling you this is who you are. When I make videos, I feel that excitement, and that is who I am. And that's why the more I do it, the more I create abundance in my life, the more I create from a much higher point of view, from a much higher perspective. So the key to upgrading your vibrational set point is to become more who you are by letting go of those lower states of being, of the attachments you may have to certain ideologies, to certain things that may be holding you back. And to do this, the most powerful way to do this is to simply observe your thoughts for 10, 15 minutes a day. Because that will trickle in to the rest of your day. I recommend doing it right when you wake up in the morning. I literally wake up every morning, I flip over, I either go to the bathroom, then I flip over, and I stare at a candle flame. The candle flame just makes my eyes on one spot. I observe the thoughts as they come into my mind. I do not control them, I just observe them. They come in, they go out, and then throughout my day, if something arises, I observe it, I figure it out, and it goes out. Whereas if you pattern and prime yourself to think of something, to get in the email, to get in the I was almost gonna say MySpace. That's crazy. To get into Instagram or something, and you just start seeing and looking for validation or whatever it is, we start to create and put the power outside of ourselves. So this is about being more aware of what you're thinking and observing those thoughts. That is one of the most powerful ways to raise your vibration. So remember that this is more about the vibrational set point of the emotions you are feeling. Whatever you focus on, you feel. But let go, because I want to impart to you that your natural set point is high vibrational, and all you got to do is let go of layers that don't serve you. Now, there's a couple other key things I want to describe and explain to you. Think of your body, and I've explained this before, but think of your body. There is an electromagnetic energy that goes around it. And there is certain thoughts that you have. There's a toroidal field around your body as well that goes through your heart and one through your head. The toroidal field around your body will have within it the momentum of your thoughts of about the last 30 days. Those kind of carry through you. That's why momentum can be so powerful, momentum of focus, because you literally, the toroidal field around your body, the thoughts have a vibrational frequency that increases your vibration, and you start to feel completely differently. Now, being aware of that focus, at the same time, there is also the food that you put into your body is breaking down and becoming a part of you. And when you put heavy foods into your body, processed foods, when you put in meats into your body, it takes your body a lot to break those down. And what happens is, as you do that, it's releasing the energy that could be used for other things, like focus, like clarity, which will impact your manifestations. So it's about really being aware of also what you put in your body. I personally eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of greens. Ate a lot of food that's very beneficial for my body. And as I do that, it doesn't take my body a lot to break it down. And guess what? I have more energy to put into what I love doing. So food, very important. And that's something else I think that if you apply, makes it so much easier. Now, if you want to learn meditation or visualization process that will help you to raise your vibrational set point, like I did, I've created a free MP3 that you can download at the top of the description box below, and it will help you to do that so that you're able to create from that higher level paradigm. And that higher level paradigm is your natural state of being. I want you to tap more into that authenticity by getting to the core of who you are and living from that place, and just simply letting go of what no longer serves you. Letting go of attachments to thoughts that don't serve you. Letting go of positionalities, which means attachments that you have to things that have happened and people that may have harmed you. Forgiving other people. That as you do that, as you work on your vibration, you start to more so feel present to the moment, everything in your life will begin to change. You'll begin to create from a much higher paradigm because you've raised your vibrational set point. Follow that feeling of excitement. That feeling of excitement is literally the body's translation of what you love to be doing. The more you tap into that, the more you create a ripple effect in your life. You may think, oh, the most exciting thing I could do right now is go to the park and read a book. Well, how is that going to lead to me finding my purpose and doing this and doing that? It ripples out, because as you decide to do something that emanates that feeling, that vibration of excitement, the more synchronicity and the more you resonate with experiences of that, you grow that feeling inside of your body. So this is why being aware is so important of your thoughts, and that as you do that, everything in your life begins to change. Now, something else I'm going to be doing is I'm going to leave my Instagram below, because I'll be doing live Q&As there, and I'll be answering your questions. So if you have any questions, you can come, you can hang out with me, you can ask me questions, we can have more of a dialogue versus just like videos and then comments, which are cool, but there's also a place for live videos and live interaction. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well, and we can go ahead and have conversation there too. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you guys liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that little notification here next to the subscribe button so you can see the daily vids that I do. That's the way YouTube does things. You gotta actually hit that button to see my daily vids. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.